And so when Paul says to them, I see how religious you are. Sometimes it's translated superstitious. The word is potentially ambiguous, but he's probably not starting off by insulting them. That would not be a good way to start off, and he wouldn't get to finish his speech. Instead, probably he's speaking to them in a way that they would understand to be positive. I mean, you can usually find something positive to say. If somebody's religion is false, you can at least appreciate the fact that they're devoted to what they believe. And Paul does that. However, the term is ambiguous. It doesn't mean Paul's affirming what they believe. And Luke's audience, as they hear this, are probably going to hear it from the other side. Yeah, this is kind of superstitious. But he finds a point in common with his audience first. And that's a good way to relate to people, right? He speaks to them in verse 23 about the unknown God. Well, there were all these altars of unknown gods. He's already seen one. So he says to you, I want to talk to you about this unknown God. And of course, he's not going to be talking about unknown gods. He's going to be talking about unknown God because he's speaking about one true God. But the story of how this unknown God was first identified as an unknown God is perhaps relevant here. Because centuries before, there had been a plague in Athens. And they'd sacrificed all the gods they knew, and none of them worked. But finally, they were advised to offer to an unknown God. They would let some animals go loose wherever the animals sat down to rest. You have something similar to this in 1 Samuel. But wherever the animals would sit down to rest, they build an altar there, the unknown gods or unknown God, and sacrifice them there. Well, the altars were still standing in Paul's day. And it was actually a theme in ancient speeches to praise public works, to praise local monuments. So Paul is still in good with them. He's going to speak of this unknown God, this God you don't know about. Well, if you're going to call people ignorant, say that there's something that they don't know about, agnoeo, you can at least say it in a nice way, which Paul did. They wouldn't have appreciated being told that there was something they didn't know, but they always wanted to learn and hear new things. And Athens had a reputation for that, actually. So he's going to tell them, I'm going to tell you something about this unknown God to help make him known